Welcome to Storied Audio. She had been running for 3 days. Not hiking. Not sightseeing. Running. Branches clawed at her arms, mud swallowed her boots, and every snapped twig behind her made her heart jolt. She didn't know how far the search teams had spread, only that she couldn't stop. Not yet. Not until she found somewhere to disappear. By late afternoon, the forest grew darker, thicker, almost swallowing the last threads of daylight. Her legs trembled with exhaustion. Her throat burned. And her mind kept replaying the same thought. They're close. She stumbled over a fallen log and caught herself on her hands. When she looked up, she saw it through the trees. A cabin. Small, weathered, tucked between towering pines like it had grown there. Smoke didn't rise from the chimney, but the place looked lived in. Relief hit her so hard she nearly cried. She hurried toward it, boots sinking into damp moss. The front door wasn't locked. She hesitated only a second before pushing it open. Inside, the cabin was warm in a quiet, lonely way. A stone fireplace. A worn leather couch. Shelves lined with books and old fishing magazines. A pitcher of water sat on the counter, half full as if someone had used it recently. She whispered, "Hello?" No answer. Her throat was dry, her pulse racing. She poured herself a glass of water and sat on the couch, trying to steady her breathing. She needed a story, something simple, harmless. Something that didn't scream escaped inmate. Hiking, she decided. I got lost while hiking. 30 minutes passed. Then the door opened. A man stepped inside, tall and broad-shouldered, carrying a fishing pole and a small tackle box. His dark hair was damp, his shirt clinging slightly from lake water. He froze when he saw her, but not in fear. Not in anger. Just quiet surprise. "You lost?" he asked gently. She stood, forcing a smile. "Yeah. I was hiking and took a wrong turn. I'm really sorry for coming in. I just needed water." He nodded, setting his gear down. "Storm's coming. You won't want to be out there tonight." He wasn't just handsome. He had a softness to him, something tired in his eyes, like he carried a weight he didn't talk about. She noticed it immediately. The way he moved. The way he looked at the floor before he looked at her. "I can show you the right way in the morning," he said. "There's a guest room. You can stay there tonight." She hesitated. "Are you sure?" "Yeah," he said. "It's safer." She followed him down a short hallway. The guest room was small but cozy, with a quilted blanket and a window overlooking the trees. Exhaustion won quickly. She fell asleep to the sound of rain tapping the roof. Hours later, she woke to voices. Flashlights cut through the windows, beams sweeping across the cabin walls. Boots crunched outside. Men were calling out, searching. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She slipped out of bed, crept into the living room, and crouched behind the couch just as the front door opened. Elias stepped inside, rain dripping from his jacket. He saw her immediately, her wide eyes, her trembling hands. He knelt beside her. "Are they looking for you?" She swallowed hard. "Yes, sorry I didn't tell you the truth." His expression didn't change. He didn't recoil. He didn't judge. "What happened?" He whispered. "I broke out of jail," she said, voice shaking. "But I didn't commit the crime. I swear I didn't." The flashlights outside grew brighter. Someone knocked on the door. Elias stood, motioned her toward the floor. He pulled up a rug, revealing a trap door she hadn't noticed. A hidden latch. A secret space. "Go," he whispered. She climbed down into a small basement room, bare, quiet, safe. He lowered the door and slid the couch over it just as the knocking grew louder. He flicked on the lights and opened the door. 3 men stood there, badges glinting. "Evening," Elias said calmly. "Sorry to bother you," one of them said. "We're looking for an escaped inmate. Female. Mid-30s. Might be hiding in the woods." Elias raised an eyebrow. "Storm's pretty rough. Haven't seen anyone. Mind if we look around?" He stepped aside. "Go ahead." Her heart pounded as boots thudded overhead. Flashlights swept across the floor, inches from where she hid. She pressed her hand over her mouth. Minutes passed. Finally, the men thanked Elias and left. He waited until their voices faded into the storm before moving the couch and opening the trap door. She climbed out, shaking. He didn't yell. He didn't demand. He just looked at her with that quiet sadness again. "Tell me the truth," he said softly. She did. She told him about the company she worked for, the friend she trusted, the money that went missing, the lies that pointed to her. She told him about the trial, the sentence, the years she was supposed to serve for something she didn't do. She told him how she couldn't sit in a cell while her life was destroyed. When she finished, he sat down on the couch, elbows on his knees. "I believe you," he said. Her breath caught. "Why?" "Because I know what it's like to lose everything because of someone else's choices." He didn't explain further. Not yet. But she saw the truth in his eyes, the grief, the loneliness, the quiet ache that lived in him. She stayed. Not just for the night. Not just until the storm passed. She stayed because he let her. Because he protected her. Because he made sure anyone searching for her looked somewhere else. Another trail, another cabin, another town. Because he taught her how to fish, how to chop wood, how to live quietly in the forest without fear. And because somewhere between the long mornings and the quiet evenings, between the shared meals and the whispered conversations, they fell in love. The kind built in silence and trust. The kind that grows in hidden places. The kind that feels like safety after years of running. Elias told her his story eventually, how he'd lost someone he loved, how grief had driven him into the woods, how he'd built the cabin as a place to disappear. But she brought him back to life. And he gave her a place to start over. Months passed. The search for her faded. The world moved on. And in the quiet forest, in the cabin that had once been a refuge for one lonely man, two people built a life together. A life where she was finally believed, finally safe, finally loved. Subscribe to the channel for more audio stories.